So greetings. It is Monday afternoon, about 3 o'clock, June 5th, 2023. And where I'm at in the world is I'm on Highway 77, headed south into the north side of Ardmore, Oklahoma. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm cutting across the backside of town to get over to the horse trailer factory in Madill, where I usually pick up my doubles. And something unusual is happening today because I'm not picking up doubles at this factory, which that's the only thing I've ever picked up there. I've never not picked up doubles there. They have an actual single trailer to go, so I don't even have to deal with the double situation. It's just one trailer, pretty simple, straightforward, going to Carthage, Texas, and I'll deliver it there when they open it in the morning, because it's too late in the day now to make it over there in time to deliver it during business hours. So this is a late afternoon start. I kind of like this because I had my morning to run all my errands at home and to get a bath and, get all ready to go, pack my stuff. So I pretty much had everything ready to go when I left to go do my local errands, because I knew I might get a job. I was trying to be prepared ahead of time. So when I did get the text for these jobs, all I had to do was run home and grab my bag and my extra stuff and then, take off. So that's where I'm at. So I've got I have my battery charger for my impact wrench in here now. Bill fished that out for me, and I can plug it into my inverter and charge them in the truck if I need to, which is really good. I wish I'd had that with me last week, because I was a little worried that I was going to run out of juice on my batteries when I had to change a flat tire. I didn't. It was all okay, but it could have been bad if I had run out. But it all worked out. So now I'm just trying to get over here to Madill and get this thing picked up. They're doing some construction over here on some kind of a big building. Don't know what this is. I don't know much about Ardmore, actually. It's kind of a foreign place to me. I don't really spend any time here in this town. I've stayed here overnight a few times, like when I'd come in really late and didn't feel like going the 2 hours on home or whatever. But I don't really know much about it. But what I do know is it's only about 22 or 23 miles from here over to the factory that I need to get to in Madill. It's some kind of center for the performing arts. It's a pretty nice, fancy building. I turned the camera, but I got it really tied down snug. So I'm using a different camera mount today. It's a hybrid. Last week I had my tri-mount with the camera with a regular tripod screw going up into the camera, and then I had little rubber buffer pads under the front and back of the camera to try and keep it from bouncing around so much. That didn't work all that great. So it occurred to me last night that I could take my bean bag and take the tripod screw completely off and put my bean bag on top of the tri-mount, which would keep it from sliding around on the dash. That was the big problem with my bean bag mount. It slid around. I couldn't get it stabilized, and it sat kind of low on the dash. So now I have the beanbag, and I'll show you what I mean. See, it's sitting up quite a bit higher, so I can get a little better perspective. But it's on the beanbag, on the tri-mount, and it allowed me to tie it down tighter, actually, to the beanbag, because the beanbag's elevated, so I could really get a good tight connection. So that's what I'm using now, and I'm hoping that it'll work better. I think it might. It looks more stable going down the road. It doesn't look like it's bouncing around as much. So that's kind of what I was going for. A little more stability is always nice. So we'll see how this works. I'll run this week. I'm going to have a short week. I'm going to have a 4-day week, or a 3-day week actually. So I'm taking Thursday and Friday off. So, and I'm glad to do it. Very glad. So Bill has his treatment this week, which his treatment only consists of like a shot, but it's a big shot. And I hate it that he has to have it, but he does. But, you know, he's tough. He takes it like a man. But then afterwards, I'm going to start taking off once a month, that Thursday and Friday, when he has his treatment, so I can go with him. I used to go with him all the time. And I need to start doing that again. So I've decided that's what I'm going to do. And I don't have any problem getting my broker to go along with that, because I work at my convenience anyway with this. I you know, when I'm available, I let him know. Or rather, when I'm not available, I let him know in advance, so there's no surprises, so he can plan around it. And he's always been very good about, you know, respecting my decisions when and when not to work. And I don't have to explain anything to him. It's just like, I'm going to take off these days and just giving you a heads up. And he's like, cool, alrighty then. You know, no drama. One of the things I like about working for these people, there is no drama. You know, they're just not dramatic. Even when dramatic stuff happens, they're not dramatic. It's like I pulled in there the other day. What was it, last Tuesday, I think? I came over here and got a set of doubles from the same factory I'm going back to today for the single. And I had to stop by the shop and take the wheels off both of the trailers. Come on, people, wake up. So I pulled in there to take the wheels off, and I was kind of aggravated because there was a truck parked up where the guy had me parked the last time I was in there, where he likes to take the tires off. So I pull in there, and I'm not really paying a whole lot of attention, but I do notice that his running board is kind of screwed up on that side of the truck, and it looks like there's some damage to that side of the truck. Well, I pull up there, and Mike, the guy that owns all of that, he hollers at me, say, hey, you know. So I start asking him what's going on, and he's like, this car pulled out in front of him. And luckily, he missed the car, but he tore up his truck, missing the car. So it was good nobody got hurt, but it did tear up his truck. So he had to have me move because I had pulled in beside this truck, thinking that would be the next best place to get the tires off. And under normal circumstances, it probably would have been. But he said, yeah, he said, you're in the worst possible place you could have parked, so we got to get in here and pump the diesel out of his tank. I'm like, let me move. I'll get out of your way. He was laughing at me. Like, okay. So, and even with that, it wasn't very dramatic. You know, it was kind of like, okay, this is what we're dealing with. This sucks, but here we go. So, you know, they're just not very dramatic. Just very straightforward, which I like. I like people being straightforward with me. Somebody's straightforward with you, you don't have to guess about anything. You just know. You know what I mean? It's like, tell me what you want me to know, and that's great. Then I can process it and think about it however I think about it. I'm going to stop up here at Dixon, which is up the road about, I don't know, 10 miles maybe, 8 miles, and get something to drink and make a pit stop. Just once I'd like to pick up or drop off a trailer without having to pee when I do it. You know what I mean? It's like, good grief. But when you drive for 2 hours, I mean, you know, sometimes you just gotta have a little break before you get to where you're going. Well, that's the situation I'm in. Fortunately, there's a convenience store up here. I can do both of those. Have a pit stop and get something to drink. So I don't need any more coffee. I need some electrolytes. That's what I need. Quit playing games with me, guy. Seriously. Just stop. Alright, well, I will get back to you as soon as I get over here to the factory. Okay, so we're just about to the factory and we'll go see what we got here momentarily. It is about 3:38. I did make a stop. It took me about 10 minutes. I didn't even know they sent out single trailers. That's how shocking this is to me. So I'm kind of looking to see which ones are singles here that are in the lineup. I think I see one over there. I'm just not sure. We'll just have to go look. Let's see, there's. No, I think those are all doubles. That might be. No, that's not either. Okay, we'll just have to see. I'll be back. I don't know if I can do all these correctly. Okay. I think I know which one it is. It's a great big cargo. Figured it would be a cargo, being a single trailer. Just seemed like it would. They're the kind of trailers I hate hauling the worst of any of them in doubles. Singles don't bother me so much. I think this is it over here. Just got to confirm my serial number, my VIN. I think it's this white gooseneck right here. I hope that's it. Let's see, VIN 5974. 5974. Yep, that's it. Okay, cool. So this is my trailer. And it's a gooseneck, yay. That's always good. We'll just pull around here and get staged up to back into it. Which is always fun. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull over here into this parking lot and do a turnaround and check my brakes, make sure that the trailer brakes are engaging. Give myself plenty of room to turn around here. They might work if I was actually working the right ones. Yeah, they do. I was trying to work the trailer brakes on the truck like a dumbass instead of using the ones that Bill installed, which are working. Yeah, okay, so we're good. So I'm going to turn them up a little bit. can't hardly see that. Okay, there are 2. That's good. So everything's working the way it should. And this is so cool because it's just one 26-foot trailer. Normally, I would be pulling one of these units like right there. 2 cargo trailers tied together. And I hate hauling those because they're squirrely as hell. So where to? Carthage. Carthage, Texas, please. Be sure that's where we're going. Yes, indeedy. There's Carthage, Arkansas, evidently, also. There may be other Carthages, who knows, but the one we want is the one in Texas. That's where we're heading, by gosh. This is not a heavy-duty cargo trailer, so it's not all that heavy. It's going to have some wind resistance, but it is a gooseneck, so it won't be too bad. There's a Super 8 there. I'll just head for that. I could sleep in this thing, but it would be probably freaking miserable because it's got a wooden floor and a metal gooseneck, so there'd be no padding whatsoever, and it's no ventilation, and there's no man door, so it's kind of out of the question. Not really wanting to do that. Maybe the one coming back from Pasadena will be something I can actually, stay in tomorrow night. If not, oh well, we'll just do what we got to do. But this is pretty great. Having a single trailer on, pretty freaking awesome. I've got to text. That's what I thought he was going to say. LOL, that's what I thought. Period. I have the cargo and I'm on my way to Carthage. Period. Okay, so my broker texted me a note that the person that was coming to get the trailer would be there tomorrow, but it was like he texted it to me instead of texting it to Pasadena. So he sends me back, he says, shit, wrong person, LOL. There's that LOL, that's what I thought. I have the cargo and I'm on my way to Carthage. So he says, okay, thank you. So we're good. There's a shop. Look, busy in there. Busy. I can't believe I got a single out of that factory. It's just, I'm still in awe over that. What a wonderful thing. Okay, so now I can start looking for fuel between here and Carthage. There's a fuel stop over here. Well, this is wanting to route me clear down through Whitesboro. I might go that way because there's a fuel stop there I can get probably a good price on too. I don't know though. I think the route is better if I go through Kingston and across the Skinny Bridge, across the Scary Bridge, although I don't like calling across that. What to do. I don't think I want to backtrack, so I think I'm going to go ahead and go clear across to Hugo on 70 rather than cutting down through Whitesboro. than getting on 82. I mean, 82 is a better road, actually. Technically. I only have to backtrack a couple of miles. It might be better to go that way, but I kind of want to go the other way, but I'll be coming back the other way. These are the conversations I have with myself in these situations. How is it routing me? What the hell is it doing? That's freaking crazy. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay, it's not so crazy. It's basically doing what I said it was going to do, down to Highway 82 and across. That might not be a bad way to go. Maybe I'll cede to its plan here. That doesn't look like a bad way. Huh. I think so. I think we'll do it. 255 miles. For a little over 4 hours. I thought it was 4 or 5 hours. So I figure 5 hours because I'll be stopping for fuel and stopping to pee. Stopping for this, stopping for that. So I guess I will take that route. That'll get me in the better fuel price zone pretty quick instead of cutting clear across Oklahoma. I will come back across 70 when I don't have a trailer on. I come back from delivering the third trailer. So we'll take the Texas route on down there for now. Look at these magnolia trees. They're gorgeous and those blossoms are so huge. I hope you can see those. I mean, the big white blossoms on there, they're like bigger than my hands. If I put my hands together, it's bigger. The blossoms on those are bigger than that. Pretty amazing, pretty gorgeous stuff. One of the things I like about the South is magnolia trees. And there are very many different varieties of magnolias, and they're all gorgeous. So, All right, so I think I will go this way. So I'll follow 377, which is going to backtrack me a mile or so to the west. But that's okay, because it keeps me from having to cross the big part of Texoma on the skinny bridge with a fat trailer. So that in itself is pretty good. And it will get me right down in the cheaper fuel zone almost immediately. Because it'll drop me right down into Texas, north of Whitesboro. So this is okay. We can do this. Oh my gosh, it is just such a pleasure to have a gooseneck trailer on. Just a regular gooseneck trailer. Nothing weird, nothing back there fishing around, not having to worry about backing up or, something getting squirrely on the road. This is just so awesome. This is great. I'm enjoying this. This is fun. This is actually fun. I know. I'm easily amused. I really am, probably. Cheap date, I guess. Doesn't take much to entertain me. Okay, so it's 4 now, so I should get there between 8:30 and 9:30 sometime. So it'll be just after dark, probably. With any luck, I'll find a decent motel. I mean, I'm making a beeline for their Super 8. I don't know if it's decent or indecent. The last Super 8 I stayed at was pretty good. Some of them have been pretty bad. Some are pretty good. It just depends. They're all independently owned, I think. They've got the Super 8 name, but you can have crummy owners and really good owners. So maybe the owners down there are good. We'll think positive. As long as I can get in there and park this thing, I don't really care. I mean, If I have to, I'll go to the cheap motel I stayed at last time, although it was pretty gross. But it was cheap and I could get in and out of it real easy with trailers on, so. I mean, I don't remember it being particularly buggy or anything. It was just old and kind of, not so nice. Not so clean, maybe. One of those places where you wash your hands after you touch something because you're not sure how nasty it really is. And you always take the covers off the bed, just leave just the sheets because you don't want to touch the bedspread. You pick it up with a tissue and drag it off the bed onto the chair or the floor. Because, yeah, it's probably never been washed ever in its existence, that kind of place. I stay at a lot of that kind of places, actually, unfortunately, or have over the years. I try not to do that too much anymore because, it's just disgusting, for one thing. It's gross. And to the point where I make enough money that I don't really have to. As much as I hate to spend $100 a night on a motel, if the option is between something totally nasty and something that's $100, I'll go and spend $100. So, there you have it. For all the complaining I do, I'm at least that finicky about it. Although, when I get stuck in a certain situation where I have to just stay someplace that's awful, I'll do it. I complain about it and cry about it, but I'll do it, But I spend the minimum amount of time touching anything but the clean sheets on the bed. Hopefully they're clean sheets. Because I try not to touch anything else in the room with any part of my body. No hands, no feet, no nothing. Just try and, isolate myself from all the potential germiness. If you're picturing somebody tiptoeing around in footy socks so they don't have to have bare feet on the floor, I actually carry little footy socks in my overnight bag to wear when I'm in a motel room, so my bare feet do not touch the floor and my regular socks don't touch the floor. So I'll put on my little pair of footies when I get in. I'll do that right away, and then I walk around wearing those. Once I am ready to take my boots off anyway. So yeah. Okay, so this is pulling great. Amazingly enough, I have not pulled a single cargo trailer since last summer sometime, and that was a 40-foot cargo trailer. This one's 26 feet. It's about like that stock trailer I pulled the other day. Has about that feel to it, so this is awesome. I'm enjoying this. Whoa, that guy freaked me out. I didn't know he was coming around me. I heard the noise of his tires on the asphalt. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? And then here he comes. And I'm running just a tad over the speed limit. So these people do not want to follow anybody else. They just want to be out in the front, which is fine. Go out in the front. Get out in front there and get away from me. If you're going to drive like a nut. All right. So we will be crossing the Red River here in about, 7-8 miles maybe. I got a little bug in here. Let's see if I can get it out. Police. Well, that slowed him down. That slowed him down quick. The speedy guy in front of me, he slowed down when he saw that. So I'm actually liking my hair today for a change. This is kind of weird because I got this shampoo stuff. I buy shit I see advertised on Facebook. I'm very susceptible to Facebook ads, evidently. But they had these solid bars of shampoo and conditioner bars for your hair. I'm sure you've probably seen the ads on Facebook. It's for gray hair especially. And it's supposed to make your hair more manageable and softer and nicer and blah, 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 blah. So I've been using it for about maybe a month now. And I wasn't all that impressed with it the first few times I washed my hair with it, to be honest. I just couldn't really tell that much difference. But, last week it looked pretty good all week. And I only wash my hair like once a week anyway because it's very dry. When you get older, you'll know what I mean. You don't want to be washing it and drying it out and ruining it. So I try not to get my hair dirty. I try not to sweat too much. In the summer, I have to wash it more, but when it's not real hot, I can get by with washing it once a week. So that's what I've been doing. And so I used the stuff this morning and washed it. And it really feels good. I think that it probably is less harsh on my hair than the shampoo I was using, because it took a while for me to get kind of used to how it is with this stuff, but I kind of like it. And it smells good when you're using it. It smells like blueberries, I guess, or it's supposed to anyway. But they had an unscented version that they recommended because it had more fat in it. So I may order some of their conditioner in that version, but I like the blueberry shampoo bar. And it just, I don't know, it seems like it's actually working, but my hair's starting to grow again. Starting to get long. I mean, it's down just past my shoulders for the first time in like 2 years, because I had to keep cutting the damaged part off. Well, that's all gone now, so it's all natural growth now. So I don't have to cut it again, except for occasional trims, which maybe not. But it's starting to get long enough that if I really want to, I can make a little braid. I can make 2 little braids, like with 3 or 4 twists to them. If I want to do like pigtails, I can actually do that. It looks silly because they're so short. But it's not going to be too awful long before I'll have a respectable braid again. And I'm really looking forward to that, because what I've been fighting here lately with my hair is when I'm out working on these trailers, the wind blows it around and it blows into my mouth. So I get hair in my mouth. I'm trying to get it out of my mouth. All the stuff, all the reasons that you put your hair in a braid to start with. So I'll be really glad when it's long enough to get in one braid, which I think by the end of summer it will be, and to get in the braid and stay. So it's getting kind of close to that point now. I can put it in a ponytail. It's not a very long ponytail, but it's a ponytail. So thank God, because I really miss having it long where I can just braid it up and get it out of my way. And it looks decent and it stays put. Well, most of it does. But I just miss being able to do that. So, hallelujah. I'm on my way to being able to do it again. Thank goodness. So I'm beyond the point of really caring too much about having like a frou-frou hairdo. I mean, I'm getting old, for one thing, and I'm not as cute as I used to be. Isn't that a terrible thing to say? But it's true. You get old and it ruins your looks. Getting old ruins your looks. It really does. So I'm not that worried about like looking pretty like I used to be. I used to be worried about looking pretty because I never was real pretty. But I always tried to look as pretty as I could look. You know what I mean? Just, personal pride in my appearance or whatever. But I don't really have that compulsion anymore. I just want to look human and have my hair out of my face and have it look decent. That's my main goal, is to, get it out of my way and look decent. And I don't look good in short hair. I look weird in short hair to me. Other people say, oh, you look fine. Well, to them maybe, but to me, I don't look like me unless I've got longer hair, and it's usually in a braid. In my mind's eye, that's how I see myself. So, isn't that weird? I think we all have kind of an image in our mind of how we perceive ourselves, how we actually look. And I'll tell you, when you get older and you start losing your looks, it's kind of a shock every time you look in the mirror. It's like, holy crap, what happened to me? You know, what is going on here? You know, oh my gosh. It's startling at times, I'll put it that way. And it's very disheartening. It's like he's fixing a flat. But it's quite disheartening when you start falling apart, you know. But I would just feel better if I could put my hair in a braid in the morning and it would still be in the braid at night and it stayed out of my way all day but looked decent. So that's my goal. I'm getting there. I guess that's the whole point of this whole thing, is I'm kind of getting close to being able to do that. Another 6 months, I think, and we'll be good. Another year or two and I'll be back to normal. I'll have my long hair back and long braid, and I'll be really happy. So it was last year about a month in May, I think, in early May, when I had it cut the last time to get all the rest of the bleach stuff off of it. And it was really short. It was really short. Way too short. So my biggest question now is, do I want to grow out my bangs or do I want to keep my bangs? Because I really hate my bangs, but I look better with bangs than I do without them. But I really seriously, severely hate having bangs because you got to keep them up, you know what I mean? If you don't trim them, they look like crap. And if you trim them wrong, they look like crap. And if you got them trimmed nice, but then you sweat and then they get wet, then they curl out and they look like crap. So I mean, I'm just kind of really over having bangs. But that's the hardest thing for me to grow out because I just look funny without them. You know, I don't have a good face to go bangless. I got a long, skinny face, and not having bangs is not flattering. So what do? Do you go for comfort, or do you go for, well, it makes you at least look as well as you can, you know, as well as you're capable of looking? I don't know. I can never decide, but I've tried to grow them out multiple times, and I get to a point where it's just like, man, they just look so bad that I'm just going to have to trim them, and that's kind of as far as I get with it. But you know, I wonder sometimes, do other people obsess about stuff like this, about their hair or their nails or, I don't know, their shoes? Is there some particular part of everybody's body that person obsesses over and really, you know, spends more time thinking about than all the other parts together? Because I don't think about all the other parts much. I mean, I think about wishing I wasn't so damn fat, but it's not like, you know, specifically, you know, oh, I wish my butt wasn't so big, or I wish my gut wasn't so big. It's like I wish it all was slimmer. So there's not like a site-specific worry over my weight. It's just in general. But my hair is a very specific concern to me. So, you know, if you have like a very specific concern, you know, I imagine everybody's probably got a different one, I would guess. I don't know. It's kind of funny to think about anyway. Okay, so now we got Skinny Road, Fat Trailer Skinny Road. I'll be glad when they get this done and open this up and give you 2 full lanes here instead of being all skinny and squinchy. The new bridge is really nice. I mean, they put this new bridge in. I thought maybe they were going to put in another new bridge on the other side and make it 4 lanes, but I don't think they are. I think they just widened it out for a nice 2-lane bridge with good shoulders. And boy, talk about a lot of difference. The old road was skinnier. The old road sat down closer to the water too, but this is pretty nice. Pretty nice bridge. The frame of the old bridge is still over there on the right. I don't know if you can see any of that with the camera angle, but it sits down about 8 feet below this one. And they're slowly taking it apart, I think, taking the old framework out. I seriously have like a love-hate relationship with bridges. I like them, looking at them. I don't like crossing them because I'm never quite sure if they're going to hold up long enough for me to get across them. You know, it's kind of a worry in the back of my mind. Not like I obsess over it, but I wonder about it while I'm crossing long ones. I'm not so worried about short ones, but it's the long ones like this that I'm kind of like, I don't know. Hope it's going to not fall down while I'm on it, you know. And I know it's an extremely rare event, but bridges do collapse occasionally. Okay, guy, don't crowd me here, please. Hey. So it's a little worrisome. It's as if I need something to worry about, right? I need to worry more. Because I don't worry enough. I need to worry more. I think I'll think up some stuff to worry about. Invent some stuff. All right, so we are in Texas. We just entered Texas. And up here, not too far, there's a little fuel stop that might be pretty cheap. It's $3.29 there, so that's pretty good. That's 50 cents cheaper than Madill already. It was $3.79 in Madill, I think, is what I saw. $3.29's not bad, but I'd like to get it closer to $3 if I can. But let's see how this little place is down here. Everybody's got their RVs and their boats and all that. That's what this whole area is about. Lake Texoma, fishing and camping. Okay, all y'all impatient people. I'm not that worried about this guy because I turn off here in 13 miles. He's trying to get out of this guy's way. That guy just scared the crap out of him. I've seen it happen on this hill before where people misjudge and try and pass and then end up getting too close to oncoming traffic and scare everybody behind them. That hill, I was passing somebody one day coming up that. Somebody was going really slow. And I think I had a trailer on. I was passing, not going super fast, but the guy went around the side of me on the left shoulder of the road and passed me while I was passing out. It was a first on that one. I had never seen anybody do anything that stupid before. But yeah, that's where that happened. So passing on the shoulder while another person is passing the vehicle in the lane. Insanity. Freaking crazy. I don't know what gets into people. I mean, I understand impatience. I deal with that on my own, you know. I can be extremely impatient myself, but Never would I even dream of doing something like that. That wouldn't even wouldn't even be on my radar as a potential possibility of a thing to do. So no. It's pretty funny, actually. I mean, in retrospect, since he didn't kill us all, it's kind of funny now. Wasn't funny at the time because I thought he was going to kill us all because there was a semi coming at us. And, you know, I got back over because I was making the legal pass. So I got around the slow-moving vehicle. But he still had to get all the rest of the way around me and get the hell out of the way of the semi. He could have killed us all, you know. Just people do dumb stuff. Don't know why. My dad used to have a saying, for somebody so damn smart, that was pretty damn stupid. When somebody would do something dumb. Mostly when one of us kids would do something dumb. Because none of us kids were stupid, but we did some stupid things. That's the truth. Cannot deny it. Okay, I don't know what this guy's doing, but I'm going to give him as much room as I can give him. Okay, speed limit here is 70, but running 70, this road's a little dodgy. It's got some pretty rough spots to it. Well, I guess I'm alright though. Seems okay. I don't know where this place is it's on the left, so I'm trying to keep an eye out for it. Where they usually have a really good price on fuel there. If I don't get it there, I can get it somewhere else, but that'd be a good place if I can do it. I've got enough fuel to get to Carthage, I think. Because evidently I'm getting pretty good fuel mileage pulling this trailer. It's not very heavy. It's nowhere near as heavy as that 40-foot flat I was hauling the other day. But if I can get fuel up here, if it's a good enough price, if it's not a good enough price, I'll go on by anyway. But if it's like $3.10 or less, I'll probably stop and fill this thing up. So I have no idea where else I'm going to find good fuel prices down in here. Okay, there's $3.29. Where's that? $3.09. $3.09 there. That's not the place. So they may be cheaper down here at the other one. So that's a really good price. I probably should have pulled in there and done it, but their lot was a little bit squinchy. This other one's a little easier to get into if I remember correctly. It's more of an open, just kind of an open lot. I don't know, I haven't seen it yet though. I hope that wasn't it. I just misremembered what it was like. I don't think so, though. So it seems to me like it was a big dirt lot and old-fashioned pumps that you just pulled in, and everybody kept going in and asking, how do you turn the pumps on? They're like, they're on. You just pump your fuel and then come in and pay for it. So I have not seen that place yet, but it should be up here, not too far. Unless I'm losing my mind. And if I am, well, there's more fuel down here near 82 also. So we'll see. Catfish Haven. Looks like a restaurant. RV park. Somebody's hat. Somebody lost their hat. Let's see. Should be getting to it pretty soon, I would think. Where the heck is it? Maybe I missed it altogether. I don't think so, though, because I've been watching. I think it's a lot closer to Whitesboro than I think it is. And it seems like I could see it quite a ways off because I found it in the first place heading south. So I had to have been able to see it to know that they had good price to get in there, so we'll see. Either I missed it or it's up ahead of us. Nothing like overstating the obvious, right? Either we passed it or we haven't. This might be it up here. I don't know. Not really seeing. Nope, that's a cafe. That's not it. I think that may be it on up the road here. I don't think I've passed it yet. I think it's a lot closer to Whitesboro than I was giving it credit for being. But I need a certain amount of stopping time because I got a signal to these people behind me that I'm going to cut across the other side of the road. I need to be able to see it in advance enough to warn them. So I'm not running super fast here. I'm actually running under the speed limit to give myself hopefully a little bit more stopping distance, or slowing down distance anyway. Okay, I think this may be it. I think so. Yep, that's it. I haven't lost my mind. It is up here. Let's see what their price is. I hope it's cheap. If it's not cheap, I'm going to cry. $306. Yay. That's pretty good. That's pretty cheap. That's about as cheap as you can get now. If you're just over $3, you're doing really good. And of course, there's somebody at the pump. Why wouldn't there be? It's okay. I can wait. Not in a hurry. There's no reason to hurry because all I'm going to do is get a motel when I get to Carthage and then get up and deliver this in the morning. So, yeah. Now I know how this works now. Everything is full. Def is full. Diesel is full. I actually picked up 2 bottles of electrolytes in the form of Propel, which is my preferred poison, I guess, because it probably all is. I gotta just wait until it's good and clear so I can get across this road without getting this trailer run into. It's gonna be a minute. I got a string of cars coming from the north. Okay, might be able to go here pretty soon. Maybe, maybe not. I think it's gonna foobar me. Yep, damn it. It's gonna be a while. I got another string of cars now coming from both ways. These people that drive on the shoulder of the damn road drive me crazy. Drive in the lane or get off the damn road. This is the part of the world, the only part of the world I know of in my general vicinity, where people use the shoulder of the road like it's an extra lane, which is totally illegal, by the way. It's not an extra lane, it's the shoulder of the road. That guy just flipped me off for pulling out. Oh, really? Seriously? I can't pull out on the road because you're coming half a mile away. Okay, that's nice. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. People are so nice. I know. I'm the same way. I admit it. But I don't flip people off for pulling out in front of me. I mean, unless they pull out really close and I have to hit the skids, and there was no such thing going on there. He had plenty of room, and so did I. He was just being a dick. His dick was showing, and I don't mean that. I mean his personality. I know I gotta watch my language. I'm bad. I know I'm bad. I know. I get it. And I can't even say that this is just the way I am because I have no filter. I choose to say the words that I say. I use them to specific effect. So it's not like I slipped and fell in a naughty word. You know, these are choices I make. And I know some people are offended by it, and I'm sorry for that, but you know what? Sometimes those are the words that fit the situation. In my mind, anyway, my opinion. So yes, I know I got a potty mouth. I get it. But I just want you to know that I don't blame it on anything or anybody or whatever, aside from me choosing to use these words because they have a specific meaning. And that's the meaning I intend to convey. Well, dang it, look at that. I could have got it a penny cheaper at Avon. Huh. Wasn't that a bitch? Well. So this is Whitesboro, Texas, and this is the intersection of 377 and Highway 82. Highway 82 is a very fast, 4-lane, very good road that crosses northern Texas from over by the Arkansas border, not quite all the way over there, but close, and runs clear across the state, pretty sure. It runs way in hell over there anyway. It goes clear to almost Texarkana, not quite, and it goes way past where I usually turn off going home at Bowie. Actually, like 20 miles north of Bowie, because it does not run through Bowie. It runs north of there. Mom peoples, we gonna go sometime today? Pizza Hut. Man, what I wouldn't give for a piece of pizza. I haven't had pizza for at least 2 years, I think. Maybe longer. As it turns out, pizza's like one of the absolutely worst things you can eat health-wise. It's like horrible for you. Horrible for me, anyway. It's a combination of all the gluten and the oil, the grease, the vegetable oils. I guess it's just like hideously bad for your blood pressure. Okay, so I'm just about 3.5 hours from Carthage right here. That's pretty good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that puts me there about 8:30 or 9. $304. Now this is starting to piss me off because I just paid $306, thinking I was getting a good deal. Damn it. That's okay. I did get a good deal. I know I did. Because I got over half a tank of fuel for $88. Or $80. I think it was $80.88. Or it was either that or $88.08. I'm not sure which. But it was a good deal. I think I'm going to listen to the radio a while, and I'll catch up with you when I get close to Carthage. Or if I see something cool in between here and there, I'll pop back in. Alright, I thought I'd get back in here before it gets too dark to film. I'm in Tyler, Texas, going around the loop, around the outer edge. And I'm getting ready to get on Highway 64 down here in a couple of miles. So it's been very light traffic all around Tyler, which is really unusual. It's usually a madhouse here, but in the past I've been through here a lot of times during rush hour, and at rush hour it's crazy. So this is pretty nice, actually. I'm going to try and adjust this a little better. There we go. So I am 72 miles away from Carthage, Texas, and I'm going to go ahead and go on over there. So I'm going to be driving in the dark at least half an hour, I reckon, because it's not quite dark here yet, but it's getting there. And that means I'm just a little more than an hour away from Carthage. So I'm just going to head on over there to the Super 8 motel that I know is there and hope that they have a room. If they don't, I'll have to figure something else out. But this is nothing unusual. This is typically how I do things because I refuse to make reservations for a motel. I know I'm being obstinate. I'm fully aware. But I refuse to do that because once you do that, you can't usually get a refund on your reservation. If for some reason you don't show up, if something happens, if you break down or whatever, it's just too bad, so sad they're not giving you your money back. And then you have to go buy another motel somewhere else, so you pay double. So I don't do reservations on motels at all, ever. So I can always go down the road and find another one, pretty much. That's my attitude about it. There's usually more than one in any given town, even in a small town. A lot of small towns have 2 or 3. So, but one of the things that I've seen down here that I wanted to point out is diesel here is $2.99, and there was one spot where it was actually $2.94. and it's $285. Wow, $285 over at Walmart. That's pretty awesome. I did buy diesel in Lubbock for $285, but it was at a really super slow pump, and I ended up having to quit trying because it was taking too long. I quit trying and went and found another place to get it a little bit more expensive, but at least I finally got my tank full. But so it's really nice to see diesel prices coming down from where they have been. They've been so high for so long, it's been ridiculous. This looks like cluster. Is that a Mercedes symbol? I think it is. What's this guy over here doing? Oh, okay. I see what he's doing. He's stopping because we've got a green arrow for the left turn. All right, this looks like a skinny road. This also looks like it'll tie into a highway up here a little way. The skinny road or not, I don't care. This trailer's been behaving really well, so not having any issues with it at all. It's pulling right along. Most of the trailers that I pull are well-built trailers, and they usually pull really good. The ones that give me trouble are usually when they're tied together as a set of doubles. The one on the back will be a little fishy or whatever. But as far as just single trailers, I mean, I'd never pulled a single WW trailer before, and it's pulling great. So I'm equally impressed with it as I am with the Cimarrons and the Big Texas. They're all quality built trailers, which is kind of, I knew that, but I didn't realize what an easy pull these cargo trailers really are if you don't have two of them tied together. It makes a difference. It makes a lot of difference, actually. It's kind of funny. I mean, who would have thought, right? Well, I never really thought about it because the idea of getting one from them was just not even a concept that I had ever thought about, because they always came in pairs before today. So, go figure. So it'd be nice if we get a green light here pretty soon. There we go. Yay. I can feel that I'm in kind of getting into the eastern Texas region. The trees are getting taller, more pines, and it's just getting that East Texas feel to it. If you've ever been here, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you've never been here, I don't know how to describe it, but there's a certain feeling to the air here that's different from, say, West Texas. It's very, very different from West Texas. And it's different from Oklahoma. It's more akin to Louisiana. It's that kind of a feeling. And I'm getting into that zone, so it's always kind of fun for me to come in down here and see this. It's a very different country than what I'm used to. It's real swampy, lots of gigantic pine trees, but it's still hot and muggy, humid, just really interesting climate. The Oil Palace. I don't know what that is, but that's what it says, the Oil Palace, this big building over here. It's all lit up. It almost looks like some kind of an auditorium or event venue. Big parking lot. The lights are on, but the gate's locked, so evidently they don't have anything going on right now. I'll have to look that up if I think of it. The Oil Palace in Tyler, Texas. Pretty interesting. think it's going to get too dark to be filming here pretty soon. So I imagine probably what will happen from here is if I can get a motel room without too much trouble, I'll do that, and then I'll get up. I'll figure out what time this place opens in the morning. I'm delivering this, and I'll get up half an hour, 45 minutes before they open and get ready and just take it on over there. Because Carthage is not a big town. I mean, it's, you know, it's got a loop around it, but it's not very big. So it's not going to take me very long to get from the motel over to the trailer store, I'm pretty sure. And then I'll head south immediately after I deliver it and go to Rose City, Texas. So that'll be my next stop after delivering this tomorrow. I'm going to wait a minute to get over here. Maybe I'll just stay where I'm at. I don't think I'd care for that, riding on the back of a motorcycle that doesn't have like a oh, what do they call it? The bar up the back, like a backrest. I mean, it's one thing to ride on the back of a motorcycle when you're on a king-queen seat and you have a backrest and you're kind of wedged in there. It gives you a little bit of stability. But just to be riding on the back of a crotch rocket with nothing to hold on to except the person driving it, I don't know. I don't like that idea. Not real big on that whole concept. I think she was pretty brave to be doing it, but that's not my cup of tea. I would not go for it. Don't think so. All right, I guess I'll get back off of here and I will see y'all in the morning. I'm losing my light. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. There's a lot of people out walking around and stuff. I want to stay sharp and keep an eye on what's going on around me. So I will see y'all in the morning. Good night.